Alrighty, well, I had actually hoped to give this presentation to you live, but we ran out of time at the last faculty meeting, so we are going to try to do it this way, and hopefully you'll get all the information that you need. So we did have to have some changes because of some of the apps that were on the devices. We decided to reset all of the carts, meaning they now have a new Apple ID, new password, all of that information. And the administrative team pretty much has that information and will be loading apps for you. The carts have also been relabeled. They're now have letters, and the individual devices are labeled A1, A2, A3. Right now there's not any apps on there really. There's one QR code app. So Venus sent out an email to you with a link that allows you to request apps that you want to be added on there. Just remember that we will try to get them loaded as soon as possible, but it could take some time, so the sooner you get them in, the better off that it will be. Here's a few different forms that you're going to see now. There's iPad procedures, and we can send you this as well if you want to read it on your own, but it'll be on the cart. Also the checkout procedure, which I'll go over in just a little bit. You'll see this on the cart. Make sure that you fill it out each time. And then something new that we have is actually a student sign-out sheets, where we can now assign a specific device like A1 to a student. And this will help us if something occurs. We'll know who had which individual device, and it'll help us track down the student who may have been causing or creating the issue. So our check-in and check-out process, the first thing you'll do is you'll reserve the carts, and you can find that on the staff shared in the technology folder. And then you want to review the cart expectations. A few of the things are it's just some basic housekeeping. We want you guys to make sure that you're handing out the devices to the students and picking them up. And picking them up is going to be extremely important, because in the past we've had students who took devices out of the cases, and then they would just put in the cases, and it looked like they had returned the device, but they actually had just returned the case. We also want you to notice if there's anything missing, if there's some, once you get the devices in the student's hands, if there's something cracked or anything inappropriate, then you're going to let Venus know immediately via email. Also, there is a student sign-out list. I kind of showed it on the last screen. That's in this technology folder. We want you to use that, so again, to assign specific devices to specific students. So, what are our expectations? So the first one, and this to me is the most important, is going to be actively monitoring. If the students know that you're walking around, they are less likely to try things. It's extremely important that you are out and about and moving around. And if you're concerned about monitoring 30 students, have them work with a partner. We've done this at Madison. It works out well, and so they take turns working through the process. The other thing you can do is, if you want each individual person to have one and you need extra hands, then you can contact me, and if I'm available, I'll come out and we'll work the class together. We also want you to make sure that you are assigning the specific iPad to each student, so that way if something occurs or we find inappropriate pictures or anything else on the device, then we can go back and figure out who had that device at what time. The handing out, I kind of mentioned it earlier. It's extremely important that we make sure that when we get the devices back, that we are actually getting the device and the case, not just the cases. And again, if anything's wrong, then you're going to contact Venus immediately. So if you have questions, please email me. And to kind of finish up, we would like for you to take a minute and take this little quiz here. So if you go to this website, there's just 3 questions for you to answer, and it'll help us track to make sure that we know everybody's had an opportunity to view the video. Thanks.